I think they're chomping at the bit to wreak havoc throughout the NFL. I think they know that as they stand here right now, they should be two-time reigning defending Super Bowl champions if it wasn't for the stupidest call in NFL history as far as I'm concerned. And I think that they're going to be on a kind of mission people think Tom Brady's going to be on. Had Tom Brady been suspended and ultimately came back, that would be different. But with Tom Brady back and having not missed a game, I think the most highly motivated, rather, is going to be the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Legion of Boom will be ready. I think the acquisition of Jimmy Graham as your tight end, along with Lockett at the wide receiver spot, the Doug Baldwins of the world, and then when you look at beast mode coming out of the backfield, I think the combination of all of those things leaves Seattle still standing as the team to beat. And I think they will be on a hellacious mission. And anybody who gets in their way is going to get annihilated when it counts most. I think that the Seattle Seahawks will win the Super Bowl title.
I want to stall making my pick, so I'm going to get Mark to critique Stephen A's pick. Could you respond, please?
Listen, the Seattle Seahawks are a great football team. We all know that. Let me tell you about winning championships. Let me tell you about winning back-to-back championships. One of the things that's very hard about winning back-to-back championships or going to back-to-back Super Bowls and continuing that kind of incredible run is I always likened it to going to the dump. See, now I've worked physical labor my whole life, okay? That's what I did as a kid. So I used to have to go as a construction worker and make dump runs. I would go to the dump to dump the garbage and dump all the scraps. I would always keep certain things that were good for throwing. And at the end of my dump run, I would throw things at the seagulls, right? Because all the seagulls are hovering over all the garbage. They love that.
Was this in Alaska?
They love that. Yeah, this is in Alaska.
That's why
okay? So here's the deal. When you have that kind of success, guess what you are? You're the garbage at the dump, and 31 other teams are those seagulls hovering over the dump trying to pick your scraps up. And what happens to you as a football team is, one, you have to pay guys. So there's certain guys you can't pay. You've got to pay the Russell Wilsons of the world. So there's certain guys that you can't come up with contracts with. All of a sudden, people within that organization get disgruntled. Listen, man, I had as much to do with that championship as him, Cam Chancellor. I had as much to do here. And so eventually what ends up happening, you lose a couple guys. You lose a cornerback out of the Legion of Boom. All of a sudden you lose a couple special teams players. You lose the glue that holds things together within a locker room. And what ends up happening is eventually you get weakened. That are key because they are, like I said, that glue that bonds a locker room together, and eventually it weakens you to the point where you don't go back to back championships. You don't go back to a Super Bowl. So I don't think they're going to a Super Bowl. I think that division is the toughest division of football. Arizona gets Carson Palmer back. I think the Rams are going to be a much better football team. Obviously, there's a ton of turnover with San Francisco. We look at them and we think, they're going to struggle. That defense, I think that defense is going to be better than people think. This is a tough division. I don't think Seattle makes. And I can't even remember because the preseason is irrelevant now. I mean, the first two games of the season really become the preseason. Teams don't game plan anymore. Teams don't play anybody anymore. It's really hard to get a good feel on who's what and you know where teams are going. But I'm going to go the Green Bay Packers, even without Jordy Nelson, representing the NFC. And I think I'll go the Patriots just because Tom Brady. And I think this is this will be another like 2007. Hey, you know, I'm going to cram it down your throat kind of tour of the New England Patriots after Spygate. This is the deflate tour of 2015. We're going to deflate every NFL team that we come across because we're so sick.
So did they go to the dump and hit the Seagulls and win it all?
I think I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers. I think you look at what happened to them in the NFC Championship game, I believe, against the Seattle Seahawks, where they had that game won and they sat on their hands and they made a couple of mistakes.
Aaron Rodgers was terrible the second half.
And I look at that.
You know he's 2-4 in the playoffs?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you knew.
What's that?
Aaron Rodgers 2-4 in the playoffs since the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, I think they are the more motivated football team. I think they go to the World Championship game, and I think they win it.
We'll be back in a minute.